What do we got going on today, Luis?
So we got a G80 bumper, just came out of the body shop, and got a headlight from eBay. So take a look at the front of that car, you'll see why.
Apparently, dude hit a guardrail or something.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know the guy whose car it is, but the car seems nice enough. I mean, he's got carbon buckets, which I like. I don't think this is a full leather car. I don't even know what the full leather G80s look like, honestly. The carbon buckets, I think this is my first time being up close with the carbon buckets. They actually look really nice.
Not bad.
No, I like them. I mean, I remember, I guess the only other G80 that I've ever been in was Sundeep's. And he had the comfort seats, which are trash. So...
Yeah, so we got a broken headlight here. It's demolished. Hopefully not too much is broken there. It was just hit on the side. But the bumper does not fit right. Apparently he also rear-ended someone at some point. And the bumper to hood, it's slightly raised by 1/4 of an inch.
Oh, I can see it in person. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you can really see it there.
So you're gonna have to align the bumper and everything?
Well, we'll see what could possibly be broken below this whole mounting areas.
And is this Dravit?
I'm not sure.
I think this is Dravit. I think. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll get reamed out in the comments, but I think this is Dravit.
I'll double check that with the VIN. Little MD coder.
Yeah, the Austin yellow cars are out, as usual. I guess we'll maybe get into it later in this video as to what's going on with my car, because it's like a fucking never-ending disaster. A little update on Luis's car. It's still not wrapped.
Yeah, it's still not wrapped.
What have you done since the last time? I think the last time was when you did like the oil thermostat.
The oil thermostat?
Yeah, when you did that like big maintenance package.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you messed with the suspension a little bit.
Yeah, still trying to dial in the Olins and get it's SPL everything front and rear. So on the rear we have every single arm, every single bushing is now SPL, including the rear control arm at the subframe, and on the steering knuckle. Well, it's not the steering knuckle on the rear, but on the wheel carrier, it's got SPL solid bushings there. Well, not solid, they move. What do they call it again? Spherical bearings. So spherical bearings front and rear, bump steer correction from SPL for the tie rod ends, and everything diff, trans, engine mounts, everything's done. So hopefully start getting some more pieces here. I got a set of BBS RA wheels on the way, 18-inch, gonna do 18 by 10.5 square. So that's gonna look pretty crazy on it. Still gonna dial in ride height once I get the wheels, then finally get an alignment and figure all that out. Alignment on this car gets really, really expensive when you're dealing with 2 extra adjustable arms in the front and 4 extra adjustable arms in the rear. I guess technically 1. So we also have a SPL rear camber adjustment lockouts. So on the rear bucket where the spring sits for that control arm, you can no longer adjust camber with a eccentric bolt. It has been locked out. And all your camber is done by the upper control arms, and tow is done by the front and rear tow arms, or lateral arms, however you want to call them. So that's going to be pretty pricey. It's going to be a third alignment I've paid on this setup. I'm going to be into the thousands of dollars on just getting it aligned. But hopefully in the spring, this car will look different. I have a whole bunch of aero on it, or not to be installed, but it's here. So from GTS front lip, carbon side skirts, and a full under tray diffuser, along with a GT4 wing. So hopefully it'll be a good track car next year.
Next year.
All right, so we got the bumper off and we got our headlight out. So just unwrapped the eBay headlight we got. It's OEM, just off probably a wrecked car. Hopefully it works all right. Came with no modules, so we got to transfer all the modules, but here you can see the difference. That headlight was mapped.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So when you go ahead and transfer modules from one headlight to another, you shouldn't need to code them. It should all be good because you're using the original modules that were coded to the car. So as long as this headlight doesn't have any internal problems, it should all work fine. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. It's really just this module up top, the main one right down here, and another one here. If these are anything like the F80X platform, this is probably a DRL, this is turn signal, and then this is your main brains to it. Alright, so we just came into an issue. I said I didn't source the light, I didn't get the original part number off of them to check them. I'll do that right now, let's see. Yeah, part number varies a little bit. And let's see. Class 1 laser product. I don't know, they are different. And the turn signal module is a bit different. So this connector on this one fits this turn signal. This is where this one just came from. But on this one, it's a much shorter connector. So, not the right part. We'll have to call the owner of the car and explain the situation and go from there. Like I said, he sourced all these parts. So, we'll have to figure that out.
Alright, so after speaking with the owner of the car, we're kind of just gonna put the cracked headlight back in and put... Are we putting the old bumper back on?
We're putting the old bumper back on. This new bumper is gonna get boxed back up. This came from the dealer and then went to one of the best body shops around to get paint. So it's just gonna get wrapped up. We need to get one bracket in the front for the main, not the main, but the top bumper support. One of them's broken, so we'll get that. And the issue with the headlights here, I'm putting all the modules back in place on the old broken headlight, putting that back in. This headlight actually was bought on eBay from Korea, so it might not be a replica. Everything build quality wise, it looks great. The only thing was that it is a Euro version, or I guess every market except the US or North America.
Rest of world.
Yeah, basically if you're not in North America, you get this style of light. You do not have a marker here.
I can't really even see.
So with the US version, there is a little amber side marker right in there. Yeah, there you see it there. And on this one, which is not a North American market light, it's not there. And then also there's a little laser warning sticker on the inside there.
Which I think that's definitely just US regulation.
Yeah, I think
you
that's
have to
just
have
US.
it like right next to it, and there's just none there. So
this headlight's getting returned, and we finally spoke to the dealership, got the exact part number for this car to the VIN, as on Real OEM it was a little bit confusing. There was two of them that I thought could maybe work. It said a couple different options that, you know, if it had this or not, and we checked it with M decoder, and I still couldn't find those options listed on there. So what we're just gonna do is button this up, and the owner of the car is gonna source the correct headlight, since now we found everything appropriate for it, and we'll go from there.
all right, so the G80 left.
Yeah.
He left the new bumper here. He's just gonna order a new headlight and then we'll put everything together. But we're investigating an issue with fueling. Explain it, 'cause I don't.
So with the low pressure fuel pump, we have a Precision Raceworks 4.5 stage pump, which is a bucket pump, or like factory style bucket with a brushless pump on the side. And I didn't do the install, but if you look in here, basically we have this wiring, which is actually going to another connector in there. We still have our stock wiring that goes on there on the top of the bucket. I didn't see anything sus in there, so everything's getting buttoned up. But right now the issue is that during a watt pool, there's not sufficient low pressure fuel pump pressure. So I didn't do any of this stuff, and I'm trying to kind of chase everything and see if there's a fuse or a relay that could be blown. And the relay tested fine, both the fuses looked fine, so don't know. There's wiring here, this connector that powers, I'm assuming it powers the other pump, the secondary one that sits on the outside. So we have this connector, and we have off that same wiring loom, we have this connector here, which then this goes this was tucked down in here, and it says trigger. So this goes all the way up to the reflex, and I am assuming that then it gets triggered by the reflex and tells that pump to turn on. And then the other wiring goes to the trunk, where there's just a fuse and a relay and a ground. So it's grounded, connected to the battery, and then inline fuse and relay with that. So all that stuff tested out fine. Fuse looked good. The relay, at least de-energized. Everything between all the contact points, the ones that should have continuity, those 2 contact points that had continuity. The 2 that should be open while de-energized was open. And then between 85 and 86, there was like 70 something ohms of resistance, so the coil is probably fine. We might still try one, since we don't know what it's doing when it does get energized. And that'd be the easiest thing to kind of do before we start kind of tearing apart wiring and seeing where things go, where they're connected, and what could be the issue with the reflex, maybe not telling this other pump to turn on, and then we don't have the sufficient fuel pump pressure. So we're gonna kind of look through things here, and if we don't get to any conclusions, might email Precision Raceworks, see if they can help us out, since I didn't do any of the original wiring here on this, and we'll see, because this car needs to make power, and right now we're at a standstill.